So another firing. So Perry Minasian's out in Anaheim. So I don't think this one comes as a huge surprise, although Arte Moreno had kind of given him a vote of confidence in the offseason. But Perry Minasian is gone. Um, Not for lack of trying. Like Nick and I said on the last show, here's a guy. They've made some moves. They've tried. They've gone. They had Ohtani. They had Rendon. That was a disaster. They've tried. They've made some moves to try to build around Mike Trout. Mike Trout's health doesn't work. Like nothing seems to have gone right for them. But at the same time, they've also never brought in enough other pieces for them to really be competitive. So I think this was a combination of really bad luck, not for a lack of trying, and just a lack of depth, which I think we're seeing more and more in a lot of these clubs. There's just no, player development is hard, and the guys that get it right, Andrew Friedman of the Dodgers, who has an unlimited checkbook and is a player develop savant, as well as like Heim Bloom, player development's his MO. Those guys are hard to find. Guys that can draft well and develop. So I think that Minasian, it was probably time to make a change, but they've never really built up the momentum they truly needed to succeed. What I found interesting here, though, is they brought in John Mozeliak, who, if we recall, left the St. Louis Cardinals after last year, kind of played out the final string and handed the keys to Heim Bloom. The belief is Mozeliak was retiring. He's coming as an interim, but it sounds like he might be willing to stick around, which makes me wonder if that Cardinal situation was a little bit different than it seemed. But Mozeliak is at least a proven, experienced, long-time front office guy who can at least come in and get things settled. He already told the coaching staff, no need to make big changes. This isn't on you guys. Because again, Suzuki's only there on I think a 1-year deal or short-term deal. You want to let them kind of play out the string and see what you've got there. So let's see what you guys think. So Mike Reed, they need a new owner. It's the only thing that will change something for them. I mean, it's fair. Moreno has not been afraid to spend money, but I feel like they've been a little bit snake bitten since the Rendon thing, and they've been a little hesitant to dole out any sort of big contracts. Silix, I agree. My 7-year-old could coach the Dodgers. You're not wrong. You don't have to be a rock star to make that team win. Highlights: the Angels never really addressed pitching. 100%. Year after year after year, we would ask, like, what are their plans for the pitching? Are they going to do anything with the pitching? And the answer is always no. They would nibble around the edges. They got Grayson Rodriguez, and fine, but like they've never really gone and addressed that in a big way. You say Kikuchi was a nice addition, but like if you're strapping your future to Kikuchi, then you're already in trouble out of the gate. John Carter, they could hire Jesus, and I don't think it'd make much of a difference in Anaheim. You may not be wrong. The Angels have tried and failed repeatedly. Tried having one playoff appearance in his career is not on him. Somebody has to go. The Trout thing, and Nick and I were getting into it the last show. It's so sad. It's so sad that Trout is just wasting away in Anaheim, and I don't think he minds. I don't think it's like a problem for him. It's just sad for fans. This man had the two best players of our time and didn't sniff being a contender. It's still mind-boggling when you look at that roster that they couldn't get in the playoffs. But again, between Ohtani and his Tommy John, Trout with some injuries, Rendon with some injuries, you had all three of those guys together, but the number of games they actually played together was obscenely low. We actually did the math one of those shows. It was like less than a third of the time they were together, they were actually all healthy. It's wild that they couldn't make that work. WMS, Torey Lovullo. All right, this is interesting. I've not heard a lot of bad feedback about Torey Lovullo. It sounds like the general consensus in Arizona is they love this guy, but I mean, yes, Lovullo is a player's coach. He's an easy guy to work with, deal with. We even heard Jonathan Van Every mention the fact that like he loves Torey Lovullo, like one of the nicest guys, best guys he's ever worked around, played for. So yes, man, probably to a certain extent, but I mean, I wouldn't say it's not working. I would say that team could be better, but they've also dealt with a lot of injuries. So can the Giants fire his brother now, even though it's admittedly on Buster? Oh boy. Yeah. The Giants need to just like push the reset button and just start over completely. The Card situation made no sense. Hire Bloom, but don't give him the keys till a year after. So I'm guessing it was more of a forced retiring. And that's my theory, Mike. My theory was they weren't going to fire Mozeliak out of respect. So Heim was available. They grabbed him and then basically told Mozeliak, like, you can either get fired publicly or you can part ways quietly. What do you want to do? I can't wait for the Angels to sweep us the next 3 days and have the struggling Blue Jays to come in and sweep us too. John, we'll get into it. The Mariners are Jekyll and Hyde, man. I feel your pain. And John Carter, Sonny Gray. I mean, you look at his numbers, 9-1 this season. He's like the only guy keeping the Red Sox alive right now. He got off to kind of a weird start, missed a little bit of time, but he's been absolutely lights out since he came back. And that Yankees team is scuffling hard right now. I mean, if you're going to lose 4 straight to the Red Sox, who are a doormat, you got problems. Carl, yes, Trout is the modern Ernie Banks, 100%. And I think that kind of like Ernie Banks, Trout would take loyalty to the team over chasing a ring. And I think he's okay with that. Dodgers pretty much selling everything but the kitchen sink to the Japanese shows their commitment. I mean, fair. Yes, the Angels will always be the little brother in LA. Ohtani going across town was the worst kept secret. Yes, agreed. It's why they couldn't even unload him for rental trade package. 100%. 100%. I mean, everybody knew Ohtani was leaving. The Angels they say they made an attempt, but let's be serious. There's just no way he was staying. And the Dodgers made too much sense. The only other team we thought might be possible is like the Yankees to go to another big market, but the Dodgers to stay on the West Coast closer to Japan made way too much sense. Yeah, and John, I don't trust any team this year. Just, nope, I'm with you. Especially in the American League, I trust nobody. But, all right, so I think we're all kind of on the same page here. Angels, struggles. Obviously, Minasian needed to go. They need to completely retool what they're doing. They've got to draft better, develop better, trade better. They've got to sign some good players. The Rendon thing's behind them now. Maybe next offseason will be different, but they definitely, if they're going to get aggressive again, I think they need a new guy at the helm. So to me, the move from Minasian right now is the right thing to do.